Authority without respect is just noise in a loud room. It's a simple truth, yet one that so many fail to understand. There are people who believe that power is something you can announce, something you can declare and instantly possess. They put on a title like a costume and expect the world to bow. They demand obedience, they demand loyalty, but all they have truly gained is a fleeting appearance of control, fragile as glass, ready to shatter the moment real pressure arrives. The Stoic knows that claimed authority is an illusion. You can stand on the highest platform, speak through the loudest megaphone, and have people nod their heads out of fear or habit. But deep down, they do not follow you. They tolerate you. They obey because they have to, not because they want to. And the instant your grip loosens, they will walk away without looking back. Think of the difference between a tyrant and a true leader. The tyrant rules through force, through punishment, through the threat of what will happen if you dare to disobey. The true leader, however, does not need to threaten. Their influence comes from the strength of their character and the trust they have earned. The tyrant's reign ends the moment they lose their ability to intimidate. The true leader's influence continues even after they are gone, because it lives on in the hearts of the people they touched. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, could have commanded absolute obedience with a word, yet he understood that real power was not in the command itself, but in the way he lived. In his meditations, he reminded himself to focus not on appearances, but on virtue. He did not waste time convincing others that he was wise or just. He simply practiced wisdom and justice, again and again, until those qualities spoke for him. He knew that power without principle is like a fortress built on sand, impressive at first glance, but doomed to collapse. The Stoic path teaches us that influence is born from within, from the way we govern ourselves. You cannot expect others to respect you if you cannot control your own impulses, if you cannot remain calm in adversity, if you cannot keep your word. The people around you are always watching, not for your titles or your claims, but for proof. Proof that you can lead, not just when things are easy, but when the storms come. Without that proof, authority is hollow. With that proof, you don't need to announce your power. Others will recognize it without you saying a word. This is why the Stoic leader is patient. They understand that trust is not something you demand. It's something you build day by day, through actions, consistency, and integrity. They are not concerned with looking powerful. They are concerned with being worthy of power. History is filled with examples of people who tried to claim influence without earning it. Their names often fade into obscurity, remembered only as warnings of arrogance and overreach. But those who earn respect through their actions leave a mark that endures for centuries. They show us that true authority does not come from claiming the right to lead. It comes from living in a way that makes others want to follow. And so, the Stoic asks you, are you chasing influence, or are you building it? Are you focused on being recognized, or on becoming the kind of person who deserves recognition? For in the end, influence is never truly taken. It is given, freely, by those who see in you the rare combination of strength, humility, and virtue. And once you have earned it, no one can take it away. If you want influence that lasts, you must first understand the source of it. Real authority does not come from the ability to shout louder than others. It does not come from standing above them or reminding them of your position. Real authority comes from mastery over yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. A Stoic leader does not begin by trying to control the people around them. They begin by controlling the person in the mirror. They shape their own character before trying to shape the character of others. They ask themselves daily, am I living in a way that inspires trust? Am I the kind of person I would willingly follow? Because if the answer to those questions is no, then no amount of speeches, commands, or titles will make a difference. Consider the battlefield. Soldiers do not follow the general who hides behind his tent, barking orders from a safe distance. They follow the one who marches beside them, who stands in the rain and mud, who risks what they risk. Why? Because that kind of leadership proves that the leader's words are not hollow. They have been tested in the fire of action. The Stoic understands that every moment is an opportunity to prove yourself worthy of respect, not through grand displays, but through small, consistent acts of integrity. The way you treat the people who cannot help you, the way you keep your promises, even when they no longer benefit you, the way you remain calm when others lose control. These things, over time, create a reputation that no one can fake and no one can buy. Influence earned in this way is unshakable because it is not dependent on fear or manipulation. It is grounded in trust, and trust, once built, is a force more powerful than any authority you could demand. Fear fades, trust endures. Marcus Aurelius ruled over the largest empire of his time, yet his meditations reveal a man constantly reminding himself to act with humility, to resist arrogance, and to focus on service over self. He knew that leadership was not about glorifying himself, but about protecting and guiding others. This is why his influence lasted far beyond his reign. Even centuries later, we read his words not because he forced us to, but because they resonate with truth and integrity. The modern world is no different. Look around and you will see leaders who burn bright for a moment, only to vanish when their character fails. Their influence dies because it was built on claims, not proof. Then there are the quiet ones, those who rarely raise their voice, but whose presence commands attention. They do not need to insist on their authority, because their very way of living makes people want to listen. If you wish to walk the Stoic path of leadership, remember this: influence is like a shadow. You cannot grab it directly, but if you stand tall in the light of virtue, it will follow you everywhere. Work on your discipline. Strengthen your principles. Be the one who remains steady when others break, the one who speaks truth when others stay silent, the one who leads by example when others look for shortcuts. And know this: it will take time. Influence built overnight can crumble overnight, but influence built over years through patience and persistence becomes part of your very identity. People will follow you not out of obligation, but out of belief. And that kind of influence does not fade when the title is gone or the spotlight moves on. It lives on in the choices you inspired, the character you shaped, and the legacy you left behind. So, ask yourself today: will you be remembered as someone who demanded to be heard, or as someone whose words carried weight because they had been proven true? Will your leadership be a fleeting noise in a crowded room, or a voice that echoes long after you are gone? If these words spoke to you, if you believe in building real respect through action, if you want to walk the Stoic path of strength, virtue, and self-mastery, then join this journey. Subscribe, so together we can uncover the principles that forge unshakable character and lasting influence. The Stoic way is not about claiming power. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs to.